Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Chris. It has been a long time since I've done a purchase or pass video. I think it's been about 2 or 3 months. I've just gotten a little bit behind, but I'm going to do some purchase or pass today. The surprising thing is my purchase or passes are notoriously favored for the pass. Usually like 9 out of 10 fragrances that I try, I'm just not interested in purchasing. They just don't cut the mustard for me. There are a lot of good ones in today's video, so it's a little bit more evenly weighed. And with that, I'm just going to dive right in because I think I have maybe 12 or 15 to get through. The first one I'm going to talk about is Peach's Revenge. Boy, that one has been one I'm seeing all over social media. It's really gone viral, and I typically love or enjoy fragrances with a nice peach note. So I was really interested in sampling, but I wasn't dying to get a hold of my bottle or to blind buy or anything silly like that because I already have a peach fragrance that I love. If you have been with me for some time, you know I love my Southern Peach Tea. So it's going to take a lot for a fragrance to bump that out of the top spot. So Peach's Revenge, did it bump Southern Peach Tea out of the top spot? It did not. I still love Southern Peach Tea more, and I'm going to tell you why. Peach's Revenge to me has a very thick, dark, syrupy opening. Now there's something in there that's a little bit off-putting, and I would have guessed that it was some sort of wood. I even thought maybe there was a little bit of oud in the background. There isn't. So what is coming off a little bit harsh on me, I think it is the musk. And the musk in this fragrance is a little bit animalic. I'm getting a little bit of an animalic undertone with this perfume. Now the peach in here, in addition to the other fruits, and I want to say, I think it's nectarine and guava. Now they are really, really ripe. They are like overly ripe, and it's almost as if I'm smelling like portions of a guava, so some sort of fruit that has a green skin that is deteriorating or rotting along with other fruits. So it's not quite to the point where you toss it in the trash, but it's getting there. So the fruits are super dark, super syrupy, and going bad. And there's something in there. I just get this green off-putting note that's almost rotting, but not quite. So did not love the opening at all. The dry down was much better, but that musk is coming through, that animalic musk. It's the same musk that's in Rosenda Matu number 5. I mean, not quite as strong, but that musk is coming out, or that's what I smell in this one. So this one was not, this one is not going to be a purchase, and I still love my Southern Peach Tea more because it's not quite as dark and syrupy. It's refreshing. You know, it doesn't even have peaches in the note, but the notes that are in that come together to make a peach accord, and they're just brighter. They are more refreshing. I think there's even a little bit of lime in there. I just love it so much more, and it doesn't have that rotting quality or almost rotting quality to it. So Peach's Revenge will be a no. The next one is Tilia by Marc-Antoine Barrois. And this one is a beautiful, get my little sample, linden blossom fragrance. I am telling you, the great Quentin Biche knows how to do a linden blossom perfume. This is so good. I smell a little bit of mimosa. Now I don't think that mimosa is in here, but I smell like a honeyed yellow floral that has a little bit of a dustiness to it. Typically that means mimosa, but I don't think mimosa is in here. This is so, so pretty, and it reminds me a little bit of the fragrance that I have, another Quentin Biche creation by Le Gallion. I think it's called Tilia. I can't pronounce it to save my life. But that one is a lot more airy. It's lighter. It's more translucent, where this one definitely it's more concentrated. It's a little bit sweeter. This is just so beautiful. And I will absolutely be getting a bottle. I don't know if it's, I don't know if I'm going to be getting the 30 ml or the 100 ml. That yet, I haven't worked that out yet, but a bottle of this will be coming my way. Okay, a couple from the Queen of Gourmands, the Italian Queen of Gourmands, Hilde Soliani. The first one I'm going to talk about, I mean, my little sample or my decant is empty, but I can still smell it in the little vial. So this one is Panna Montana. Now, this one has like sugar, whipped cream, vanilla, a little bit of, does it have milk? I can't remember. The bottom line is this smells like pink sugar and you added like frosting, like vanilla frosting. So if you love pink sugar and you want to add a little bit of vanilla frosting on top of it to make it even sweeter, you will love this one. Now, this one did not have great longevity, and even though I do enjoy the scent profile or that category, pink sugar, I already have one in that category that I love that has tremendous lasting power, and it has great memories associated with it, and that is Acqua e Zucchero. So this one will not be a full bottle. The next, Hilde Soliani. Now, Panna Montana came out in 2024. This next one, Latte Freddo, which I think means cold milk. Latte Freddo means cold milk. This one came out in 2021, but it only just became available to purchase or sample at Lucky Scent. So I think the notes in this are sugar, milk, and ice. And in the beginning, there is something resembling something cold, like a little bit of, like maybe a little bit of a mint note. So I can see where they were going with this one. However, this completely changes. And in the dry down, this smells like a warm brown butter. Like if you've ever made a brown butter when you're cooking, add a bunch of salt to it. So a warm, slightly sweet brown butter with salt and a little bit of vanilla cream. That's what you're going to get. So it smells a lot like a fragrance I already have. I think it's called Lait Concentrate, which is basically a super buttery vanilla that I do love. So and when I'm in the mood for a real buttery vanilla, almost salty and buttery, that's the one I'm going to pull for. This one, the performance, I will say, is absolutely nuclear. I mean, I could smell this all day, and I actually did find that scent pleasant. A lot of people might think it smells too much like, you know, the butter that you put on popcorn. I don't get any popcorn per se, so this does not smell like buttery popcorn to me, but it does resemble a buttery, like a liquid butter with salt. And I actually find it kind of pleasant. It is kind of scrumptious, but again, will not be purchasing it because I already have something similar, but this is really delicious. So if you like a salty, buttery vanilla, this one is a good one because again, terrific performance. All right, the next one I believe is pronounced Matelda. And this one is a very nice fragrance. I would call it a gourmand floral, a floral gourmand. So there's vanilla, there's peach or peach blossom, some violet, a little bit or a lot of ambery sweetness in the dry down. I get more of a vanillic, like a bakery sweetness in the beginning, but as it dries down, it gets a little bit more ambery. You know, when I first smelled this, I immediately thought this smells a lot like Leisure in Paradise by Simone Andreoli, which I had a bottle, gosh, I got a bottle of that like 3 years ago. So if you have Leisure in Paradise, this one is just way too similar to that one, so there's a lot of overlap. Now, Leisure in Paradise is a lot more fruity and it's a lot sweeter. This one, Matelda, is more floral. It's not as fruity and it's not as sweet, but it's still really, really nice. But again, since I have already owned a bottle of Leisure in Paradise, I do not feel like I need to pick up a bottle of this one. Okay, the next one is called Milky Dragon, and I think I'm on my third little sample vial or decant. Now this perfume is for my tea lovers. So if you like, you know, smelling loose tea. You would probably really enjoy this. So when I first smell this, I really get like a very realistic loose tea, and I'm thinking like a green or greenish tea. I get a little bit of mint in here. I do not think mint is in here, but there's something minty, very fresh. At the same time, there is some sort of tea or note that's a tad bitter. I'm getting the slightest hint of a bitterness. So that's in the beginning. Now, as this dries down, it becomes much more creamy, it becomes much more milky, and it becomes much warmer. And I know that part of that is due to cashmere, that fantasy note that is supposed to make you feel like you are being enveloped by like a warm cashmere blanket. I definitely get that vibe as it dries down. So it starts off fresh, a little bit minty, almost a slight bitter, and as it dries down, it definitely gets more milky, whether there's a fantasy note in here or milk. I can't even remember. It does get milky. I know this has butter in it. I don't smell butter per se, at least on me when I wear it, but it does have this creamy quality as it dries down. So this is a fantastic tea scent. I will probably almost certainly be picking up a bottle in the colder months. This just is not something I want to wear right now in the hot weather because it has a lot of warmth already associated with it. It's not that bright, fresh, crisp tea that I like to wear in the summer months, but definitely will be picking up a bottle as it gets colder. Okay, so I'm a sucker with anything that includes the name Bali. So I was over on Scent Split and I noticed 2 fragrances that have the name of Bali. So anytime I think I'm really going to love a fragrance based on the notes, I buy a 9 ml decant. And the reason I do that is because, you know, sometimes this is, I don't need a full bottle of everything. A 9 ml decant, particularly when you have a big fragrance collection, just is all I need. I don't need to be spending something on a fragrance I might not wear year round. Anyway, so I buy the 9 ml when I think I'm definitely going to enjoy it. So I bought a 9 ml of Bali By Night. Now this one turned out, gosh, I'm so glad I didn't blind buy a big bottle. Turned out not to work for me, not because it wasn't a well-made perfume. I know there's somebody out there that's going to love this perfume. It just wasn't, you know, the notes individually are notes that I like, but just together it just didn't work. So I want to say there's pear and lily and gardenia, but something in here just did not sit well with me. Lily is an easy note. Pear is an easy note, but I get something very green. Like the lily is included with the stem. So something very green, very stemmy. The pear is not super prominent. It's on the green side. It's not overly sweet. And I get licorice. Now I checked, licorice is not in here, but I'm smelling licorice and I can't explain, you know, really where that's coming from. So almost a little bit of a mimosa note as well. This does remind me of a perfume by Tocca. Let me think for 2 seconds. I want to say Florence. I used to have a bottle of that a couple years ago. That one I like way more. This one is more condensed. It has that licorice thing going on. Whereas, yeah, I think it is Florence. Florence was lighter, it was airy, it was more airy, it wasn't as condensed. And it was very, very pleasant. So Bali By Night is not going to be a full bottle. In fact, this one will be, I'm never going to wear this. This will be leaving my home. The next one is called Nuits de Bali, so the Nights of Bali or Bali Nights. And this one was a lot better. So this comes from the same line as a fragrance I've seen kind of a little bit on social media. I've seen Anna Lauren talk about it, and I've seen Cherie from the Top Note talk about it, Bali High, that same line. So I picked up La Nuit de Bali, and this one I liked a lot better. So this one is basically a patchouli, vanilla, woody, saffron concoction. So it's a non-gourmand vanilla, a lot of saffron. So there's that saffron thing going on. It's not overly leathery, but you can definitely pick it up as saffron, and then a lot more, you know, patchouli and woods in the base. So this is a nice woody vanilla with a saffron flair, and you know, an undercurrent of patchouli. I just, even though it's pleasant and I like it, I just didn't feel the need to get it. I have a ton of woody vanillas that I love, and this did remind me of like a woodier version of Moonlight in Chiang Mai. Yes, Moonlight in Chiang Mai. So like a darker, woodier version of Moonlight in Chiang Mai. So if you have that, to me, there's just too much overlap. I actually have a bottle of that. I'm not wearing it as much, even though I think it's a beautiful perfume. I'm just not wearing it at all. And so Le Nuits de Bali, even though nice, is a pass. Okay, the next two are a result of a sample swap, perfume swap I did with another perfume friend. And it is by, well, the first one I'm gonna talk about is by Amouage, and it is called Ashore. And I have told you guys many times that I will never blind buy, even that spray is knocking me out. I will never blind buy an Amouage perfume. They are just too out of the box. I love me some Amouage fragrances. I love Sunshine. I love Material. I love Honor Woman. Beautiful fragrances. Several in that line are absolutely no. They're big no-nos. So Ashore is something I thought would be beachy. I thought it would have like a solar, you know, a tropical, floral, beachy, sunshiny, maybe a little bit of coconut, something along that line, something that smelled like, you know, vacation. And boy, was I wrong. This should have been called like Jasmine Blast to the Face. Boy, this is for my jasmine lover. So if you like all jasmine, even the type of jasmine that goes animalic, you're gonna love this. And when I say animalic, there's something in here, particularly in the opening, that smells like pee-pee. You know, some florals, when they go animalic, they either smell like rotting flowers or they smell like pee-pee. This smells like tinkle. So, woo, very salty, very animalic, very, very jasmine forward. And jasmine, I can't do all jasmine. This is just a little too much. It's a little bit too much salt. It's a little animalic, and it's too jasmine forward. So this will be a no. So the next one is called The Favorite. And I got this one because, well, I wanted to smell it because when I showed Silky, I think it's called Silky Rose, one of my favorite cheapies, somebody left in the comments, they said, oh no, that's a dupe of Penhaligon's The Favorite. So I said, oh, well, let me see for myself. And when I smelled it, I thought, to me, it doesn't smell a ton like Silky Rose. I don't think that Silky Rose is at all a dupe of or an impression of The Favorite. Well, to me, I get a lot more violet in here. So this is very, very violet forward. It has mimosa in it, but the violet in here is very strong, and it's the cold type of violet. It's very cold. And Silky Rose doesn't have violet, doesn't have mimosa. It's like a rose lychee fragrance. So to me, they really go off in much different directions. This is a very pretty perfume. So it's dusty, it's powdery. You get it powdery from the violet. It's a little bit sweet, but it's not overly sweet. I do get an underlying, and I think sometimes mimosa smells like a dusty yellow floral with honey. So I do get a little bit of that, you know, that yellow floral thing going on with some powderiness, a little bit of sweetness, whether that's from the violet, whether it's from honey, whether it's from the mimosa, a combination, I don't know. It's a lovely perfume, and I think if I smelled this on somebody else, I would say you smell really good. But this is not for me. It's a lovely perfume, very delicate, very classy, very elegant. It kind of has that quiet elegance to it. Will not be a full bottle. So the last one is a fragrance from the house called Scent Journey. I've seen that a lot on social media, and I've had a couple people ask me about that brand, and I think I will do a house overview because I bought every single one in the line, whether I bought, you know, the smaller sample or the larger. I think this is a 5 ml decant. I bought the whole set But one that kind of I keep getting asked about is called Cocoa and Cocktails. Nope, I'm wrong. It's called Cocktails and Catamarans. That's the one I keep getting asked about. So the notes in Cocktails and Catamarans are melon, pina colada accord, aldehydes, fruits, and citruses. And this definitely has a summer cocktail vibe to me. It smells like a pina colada. I definitely get the pina colada, but I also get something else. I get something a little bit powdery and red. So almost as if you took like a pina colada and you added like, you know, a fruit punch dry mix to it. So like a fruit punch powder mix added to a pina colada. That's what I get. It's nice. It's fun. I think it smells good. But to me, there's something a little bit synthetic that comes out, whether that's my skin chemistry or it's just the way the fragrance wears on me. It will not be upsized to a full bottle, so that would be a technical pass. And if you want to hear me or see my take on the entire line, in other words, do a house overview, let me know in the comments below. I think I'm going to stop. I have a couple more, but I'm going to stop with that. Purchase or pass. Like I said in the beginning, typically they are mostly passes, but there are several in here that I really, really enjoyed that I will be upsizing to a full bottle, you know, before the year is out. Thanks again for sticking around. Thanks for watching. Thanks to everybody who always shows up, gives me loves, gives me thumbs up, subscribes to my channel, and always leaves a nice little note in the comment section below. So I look forward to see you on the next one.